how to take a data set and filter based on usually a qualitative variable. So let's say we take the data set cancer. So I've read the data set cancer into R Studio. If you want to look on it, you can actually go up into the environment frame and click on cancer, and it'll show you the survival times is the first variable and the organ that the person had the cancer in is the second variable. Over here in this frame, we need to have certain packages open. So we need to have ggformula, ggplot, ggstance, the Margarita, and then the mosaics. So just make sure those are on. And then what we want to do is we want to take cancer, which is our data set. So we take the cancer data set, this symbol of the percent symbol, the greater than symbol, and the percent symbol is what pipes and says we're going to use this data set in the next line. So we call this piping. And then let's say I do GF for graph function, and I'm going to do a density. And I'm going to do based on survival. Make sure you spell it correctly. And if I just did this, I would get a graph that shows me the survival times density plot. And so we can see that a lot of people are not living very long, and it goes off at the years. But if I wanted to see it based on the different organs, I could actually do something different. So I'm going to do again cancer. So I've got to use that again. So I've got to type that in again to say use that data set. And then we'll do GF density and tilde survival. And instead of hitting enter right now, I'm going to put in a vertical line. That vertical line is actually on the keyboard, usually above the return key. There's another key that has the backward slash and then a vertical line. And after that vertical line, I'm going to put in my qualitative variable, in this case, organ. And if I now hit enter, what I will get would be a plot for each one. So these are the survival times for breast cancer. This one's bronchial, like lungs. This is for colon. This is ovarian, and this is stomach. So you can see that they've now taken this and kind of filtered it based on those. You can do this also on a histogram. So the same thing, except you do histogram instead of density. Another filter we can also do is, let's say I want to actually take this data set and pull out just the data for breast cancer. So I might create a new data set. We'll call it breast. I usually like capital letters for my data set, so that's why I made it capital breast. And then I do the little kind of looking like an arrow. This says save what we're going to type in later into this data set. You can actually hit enter, and notice you now have a little plus sign here. That just means that you don't have to type it all on one line. And I'm going to do filter, because I'm going to filter it. And I'm going to filter this data set of cancer. And I apologize, I don't do this very often, so I got to go look really fast to see what I'm missing. Oh, forgot to do my data set. All right, so before I do filter, I'm going to do cancer, and I'm going to pipe that. And then I want to filter, and I want organ, my variable organ, to equal. There's really no equal sign in R. R doesn't actually use equal signs very often, so instead of just putting one equal sign, we're going to put two equal signs. And then in quotes, I'm going to type in breast. And so you do need to make sure it's exactly like it is here. So that's one reason I moved down in this data set, so as I could see the word breast, see it is capitalized, and then I'm going to hit enter. And notice now in the environment frame, I now have breast. And if I click on that, I now have the survival times of people that have just breast cancer. So it's basically taken my original data set of cancer, which was every person, survival time for the different organ they had it in, and just pulled out the people that had breast cancer. And now you can do like use breast as your data set for other things. So if I want to do breast, and I want to do a GF histogram, and I'm going to do it based on survival, now I can see I get a histogram of just breast cancer survivors. And so that's how you can filter.